Breathe out. Woosah.
We're already getting past that.
Heather.
What?
We're live
We're live.
on the Lone Wolf
Here we go.
with Heather, Mrs. Mortgage over here.
What's up? Yes.
Just UFC in those loans, putting them into submission.
What is up?
Breaking it down. I'm
like
getting
your
them
style.
done. You know what? I don't like things left unfinished. So if I can just get them finished, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, now we took a huge decrease in rates today. If you guys are thinking about refining, right now is the time. Not tomorrow, not Friday. Those rates change every day. They've been pretty terrible the past couple weeks. They're really good today.
They're really, really, really good today.
Really good.
So.
Better lock me in.
Really, really
Better
good.
get you in.
Really good. So, more work for us. Yay.
Right? So before we get started with another candidate interview, questionnaire, or whatever we want to call it.
All the above.
Well, whatever we call it. I wanted to go over some cool stuff. We just had Easter. So Easter was cool. Did you have a good Easter? Everybody had a good Easter?
Yeah, we had a great Easter.
It's cool. I kind of was bummed, we didn't have the good old buffet with the Easter bunny, that whole thing.
That
But
sucked,
I
yeah.
actually did get the bunny and the whole buffet, and I was really shocked that they had a buffet.
Where's that?
Bear Creek.
What?
Had a full buffet,
What?
prime rib.
I didn't even know they had a restaurant. It doesn't surprise me, though. It's
Neither
really
did
cool.
I until.
There are pictures of me and a bunny going around, by the way.
Is there?
Yeah, I was at Happy Camp with the bunny.
Oh, were you?
I was.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
on
Well,
Facebook.
Canyon Lakers will be excited to know that according to the info given at the POA meeting, there might, and that's in capital letters, might be a modified Fiesta Day this year. It involves a multi-park hopper type of weekend event.
We need this.
They're saying on the Canyon Lake Community Insider page, official, not super official, that they will release more
Glad
information
you
within the
clarified
following days. So that's super, super, super duper exciting because all
Really
of us
cool.
Canyon Lakers know Fiesta Days is like one of our staples.
That is my childhood
Yes.
everything right there.
Yeah, JJ's all about the chili cook-off, but the Fiesta Days,
No, Fiesta Days is
don't
rad,
take my
too.
Fiesta Days.
Car shows are kind of badass, too. I like the car
Yeah, but Fiesta Days is like,
It'd be cool to have one here in the lake. I know, don't we have one at the main gate?
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
There's actually to add to your Canyon Lake update.
Yeah.
There's one going down. I think it's this weekend or next weekend. Pretty
car
soon.
show?
Yeah, down River Canyon at Is it
Oh.
Crossroads Church?
Oh, they meet over at the
on
Lamb.
River Canyon?
oh, right
Or
down
Lambs. No, the Lambs.
Church,
Lambs
right
Fellowship.
in the middle of
But we
Ramroad.
still
yeah.
have our Canadian
Yeah.
Car Club
Yeah.
Car Club meets at the second Saturday of the month, I think, which is this Saturday,
Our-
over at Sierra Park. They still kind of hang out there and
That's
unofficially
cool.
meet.
You probably know my neighbor. He's all into the old cars. His name is Larry. He has a full blown.
The Canyon Lake Car Club is legit.
His
They're
cars
super,
are legit.
and they're
Those guys
super
got-
good
yeah.
people.
They got cars that are
my
unbelievable.
neighbor is like one of the greatest people I've ever met, and the way he decks out these cars, and he's got like a full on lift in his garage, like a car
We had a
mechanic shop.
You
waterfront
must live by me
listing.
because there's a guy like 3 doors over from me that has a lift like that.
Are
and
you
all this
another
shit.
pretty doer?
No, I'm not a pretty
Oh,
doer.
I'm a pretty doe.
Clearwater, what's up?
Oh, I grew up on
Even
Clearwater. I think we've
Yeah.
gone over this.
Spraying Clearwater.
Right on the corner, right on the price.
Oh,
What other
it's
news
right
you
on
got
the
for
corner.
us?
Oh, okay. So, you know the kitchen over at Holiday at Harbor Park with like the snack bar and stuff?
Yeah,
They're opening it back up, but they're upgrading it. So I'm super excited about that. for
yeah,
the
I
kids.
like
feel like
seeing stuff like that.
Well, you know how we talked about like the teen center?
I would like to see them run food and drinks
Mm-hmm.
down to boats at the dock.
You know what happened
Absolutely.
last night, and I was pretty excited about it. We went over to eat at the Lighthouse, and it was so packed because you can eat inside, outside, anywhere. Slammed. We couldn't even get a table.
Maybe because we've been promoting them.
Right.
We're like, hey, you want to support the POA?
So guess
Go
where
to the
we-
Lighthouse.
Guess where we went? We went to Pepe's, which is of course
I love Pepe's too.
always my
Yeah,
second
we had
choice.
dinner there the other night with our neighbor. She retired, and the same day it was my birthday, and we went over and had dinner over there. It was-
Happy
I
belated
loved it.
birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy belated.
really cool.
I have a word from one of our sponsors. It's getting to be that
Yes.
time of year, JJ.
is. It's getting hot. Oh
Where the
God.
sweat starts increasing.
I know. I had to turn the AC on for the first time today.
Leaving the windows on at night doesn't even help. You know, it's like a steam coming through. So our one of our sponsors, UEC Heating and Air, is having a $59 AC tune-up special. And I know these tune-up specials are not cheap.
No. Well,
We
the
normally
whole
pay
thing.
like two-
You know what's not
200.
cheap? You know what's not cheap?
A new air conditioner?
Not getting a
No,
tune-up
that
and not
tune-up's
being
special.
ready.
That's
and-
cheap.
That's cheap.
a very good price.
$59 is a great
No,
one.
that's what I'm saying though. You know what's not cheap is not doing it and
Yeah.
then getting
Right.
into June
And
it's
a new air
110
conditioning
out
unit, it blows.
and yeah, it blows up and then you got to call
You're waiting a week
15
for
people
a guy to come out
waiting
and
for
fix it. Yeah.
exactly. You know,
Nobody likes that.
no. Get your ACs tuned up.
your
UEC
ACs
heating
tuned
and air, $59. Call them up. They're going to come make sure all your stuff's working right.
They're
So you're-
local in the lake too.
you're
They
not-
live here, right?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We like to
Locals.
support our local people.
Yep. They also do solar. They also do roofing as well. So
Yeah.
super
All
good
the
people.
above. It's like a
they-
one-stop shop.
And they sponsor
Yeah.
this. You know,
Windows.
this production. This
Anything
produ-
energy efficient that guy does.
Windows. Yep.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
does.
Support our sponsors. We appreciate it. They help keep this going. This honestly takes a ton of time out of Heather and I's day. It actually probably takes 48 plus hours every week.
Every week, for sure, yeah.
Just to put this together.
Yeah.
So,
we really appreciate you guys and we appreciate our sponsors so much. So
Yes, we do.
that is part of it. But there's not a lot of whole update other than it is getting hot AF, right? Mm-hmm. I mean,
But I'm glad you guys do this though.
I've had the boat out
'Cause
5
this,
times.
This is a huge service that you guys do for the community to put this out there.
We enjoy
know,
it.
I
Badass. I love it.
appreciate that. You know,
Yeah.
and honestly, we weren't sure. I mean, we kind of knew where we wanted to set out with it, but now we're kind of at a different.
Well, and we want to connect with all the Canyon
Yeah.
Lakers that we didn't grow up with, you know, all the people who moved here recently who don't
I'm a
know
newbie.
us, you know, huh?
I'm a newbie.
Not too newbie though.
No,
6
you've been
years
around.
isn't
6
too
years.
newbie. I
Yeah.
feel like you're not.
You know.
But are you ready to get to like the hard stuff and introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
Sure.
Time!
Showtime. So
Hang on.
I'm not gonna ask him yet. Oh, you got
Hang
something.
on.
Gotta
Okay.
reel her back in.
Okay, he's got to say the rule.
Officially.
I get it. Official.
Officially. 3 of 3. Today is the last day of candidate interviews.
Yes, sir.
All the questions. We have Tim Cook today. We have Chris Pullen today. Very excited to interview both of these guys. Next week, we're going to be following this up with some local influencers, and we're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like out of all these
Yeah.
interviews, and we're going to come out with official endorsements and hopefully have endorsements from other local politicians and local influencers and stuff like that. So,
So you can't tell me that I'm in yet, right?
so Mr. Sign Guy, I see this guy's signs everywhere. He's got a huge shoe in. He is a veteran and the president of the Veterans and
Vice
First
president.
Responders. Oh, vice president. I'm sorry,
Founder.
vice president and founder of the VA or Veterans and First Responders Club. Very, very, very integrated with the community, and you see his signs everywhere. Probably don't even need an introduction.
I don't
but-
know how that even happened because, man, there are signs everywhere, and I love this community with that. I mean, they have just showed so much support and love. Unbelievable. It's amazing.
Welcome, Mr. Tim Cook, to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you.
Yeah.
Super happy.
So you want me to just kind of...
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we give you the tough stuff.
Yeah, just a few
Yeah.
minutes. Where you came from, how long you've been here, how you're involved.
My mother came from my mother.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
So 7 years ago or so, I met a girl online, and we kind of hit it off right away, fell in love. She lived in the lake for 20 years. So
Oh, wow.
My wife now of 6 years, Shelly, wonderful woman. She's got 4 great kids. I got 1. We kind of got the Brady Bunch going on between all of us and everything. All of our kids are dynamite awesome. Every one of them gone to college doing good. But she was playing softball in the Sunday Fun Day co-ed softball group, right?
Yeah.
And, I went over there. I think I only played in 1 game ever, though. My knees are just shot, but I did a fill-in one time. But, it was really cool. I didn't know anybody when I came here. Shelly introduced me to these people at the Sunday Fun Day, and these guys are out there drinking and having a good time, playing softball, doing what they love. And no kidding, it's like these guys just took us all in like family. And to this day, 6 years later, we are still partying with that same group of people. And they're
That's cool.
That's
they're-
what's so cool
they're
about
amazing.
Canyon
And
Lake,
that's what
yeah.
turned me on about Canyon Lake when
Yeah.
I first got here. It was like,
Very family
yeah,
driven.
just didn't know me from Adam and just took me in and they taught me how to get drunk the right way.
That's a
arms
Canyon
wide
Lake
open.
mentality right there.
Arms wide open. If you're
Yeah.
not
We'll
having a
teach you how
good
to
time in
party.
Canyon Lake, you're not a Canyon Laker.
Exactly.
we'll
When,
teach
they,
you how
when
to
they're
party.
I'm telling
talking
you.
Sunday Fun Day, I mean,
Yeah.
they have fun. Those guys
Sunday.
are.
This is like
are
Sunday
fun.
Fun Day at the river. We live on
Exactly.
vacation every day.
Every day.
Yes.
I
This
love
is a constant vacation. So.
Yes. We all know that.
Yeah, and then I, the more I got involved, I met Brian Bach, and we did this kind of 9/11 event together. Definitely his event, but with the help of everybody in the group, man, we came together and we seriously just a short throw together thing, and we raised some pretty decent money and. Was able to pay for those lights and stuff and get that whole light thing. It's just
really?
What a badass
You
day.
guys did that.
Yeah,
That's
I
rad.
raised $2,600 in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
And that one guy you talked about in your opening thing, he was one of the biggest supporters we had of that.
If you guys ever do that again, I'd like to start a money drive.
It is
on the
going
show,
to happen again,
on
and
the
we're already.
show.
Brian's got a committee and everything.
I remember
going
seeing
on
the
already.
lights and stuff, and then
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
gave
that'd be really
it gave
cool.
a visual fixture to show my kids and teach my kids and
Right.
tell my kids about,
Explain about
what
what-
that means.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it just
It was heartwarmer for me, man.
it
Started off with Brian just talking about getting some blue lights. And
That
everybody's
was
putting blue
probably-
lights in the house.
I'm emotional just talking.
Well,
about it.
I am
honestly,
too.
when I came out and saw that, because my dad was a veteran of Vietnam, and I just was blown away at the community and the come together.
The reaction we
and
got.
the
And the
fact
timing,
that
right in the middle of COVID
it
and everything
was
going
so-
on. And
Yeah.
was it the best
it
thing
was-
for the community?
It was
That was
so
rad.
beautiful. If we
Yeah.
could do that again, please.
Yeah.
more,
he is.
more things to bring
give
the
out
community.
hugs.
More,
I
more
saw-
things to bring the community together like that is
Yeah.
the best.
I agree.
I did see Brian's interview, and we do have 9/11 coming up, but now it's also Judith, his wife, is doing 9/12. It's going to be just amazing.
Oh, that that
Just,
Yeah,
day.
he
I mean,
said
everybody
something
remembers the
about
day
that.
after
Yeah.
how united we were, and how much we got
Hug
together.
Everybody
loved everybody.
Everybody was hugging
It was
each other.
amazing.
Everybody was giving love to each other. I was telling
Exactly.
JJ
Just all in tears.
a couple
all,
weeks ago, some guy was wearing a sign like, "If you miss just human connection, give
Yeah.
me a hug."
Absolutely.
It didn't matter race, creed, color,
Nothing.
religion,
Nothing.
political affiliation, anything.
All about it. Just
everywhere
human
you went,
connection.
people were like
Everybody knows.
tears
why.
in their eyes
Yes.
and
Love,
hugs,
Yeah.
love, everything.
but also like this determinative drive
Yeah.
to like get back at those fuckers.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
Sorry,
topic.
here we go.
Yeah, so then, I got into the Canyon Lake Veterans and First Responders group. Ben started this off, making a few calls, and Ben, Byron, myself, Joseph, 5 of us were together in that first meet, and so we're all kind of the co-founding brothers of this thing. We're all members of the board of it now, and we're starting to, it used to be on Wednesday nights. We're finding we're getting a lot better response now. We've moved it. I'm going to put a little plug in. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do your
Yeah,
plug.
Second
please.
Saturday of the month. In fact, this Saturday coming up is a meeting at 2:00. Holiday Harbor. We meet. We get together. Bring your own beer, whatever you drink, soda, tea, whatever.
BYOB.
We've been having about every other month, and I think we're going to continue this through the summer. Might even do it every month, but a little, hamburger, hot dog, barbecue thing.
like
It's just
that.
a great place for the
Bring
families.
your chili, JJ.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm totally.
Bring your wives, bring your kids.
I
you know,
actually,
it's-
I
we get
believe
together
I believe I'm. a
That's
member.
on what Saturday?
Since
second Saturday of the month, 2:00.
you guys just got officially chartered by the POA as
Yeah.
a group, right?
And we did, yeah. I just turned the paperwork in the other day, so
Did you see my name on the list?
we're waiting for the response.
Did you see my name on the
I
list?
think you're toward the bottom.
Okay.
They didn't let you
I
on.
usually am.
They didn't let you
I'm the
on.
last dude
With
to
the
find
W.
out. Last dude to find
You
out.
got Witten, you know what I mean? You got W for your last name. Don't take
Yeah.
it too hard.
Yeah, I'm always toward the top with that C thing going on.
Yeah, I was always in the back of the line.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
so that's pretty much it, and I just fell in love with Canyon Lake ever since I've been here, and I mean it's like JJ and all these everybody that I've met, I've not had any real serious negative responses or negative experiences in the lake. It's just been amazing until I ran for POA.
Well, knowing you personally,
Until now.
you're a nice guy.
Until no.
Yeah, right. Everybody's going to be coming after you here in a couple
Right?
months to get elected.
Yeah,
You ready for the tough stuff?
let's get to it.
You want to
Yeah.
go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, you go.
I think I have the first 5. You have the last 5.
Yeah.
Let's. So we did. I think for Brad, Liz and I started with my first 5,
And then she did
did
hers?
that.
Yeah,
so
we could do that.
In fairness, let's stick to that.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Either way, you guys can mix them up any way you want.
10 questions. Every candidate had these questions before they came on the show. Obviously,
Did I get
we
this before?
interviewed somebody.
I got those questions.
He
texted
said
them
he
to you
wasn't
today.
taking notes
Yeah.
at all. He said he's coming right out of the gate
Shooting
with
from the
I
hip.
like
Shooting
that.
from the hip.
I
like
kind of like
that.
it too.
Yeah. My Grant Cardone coach tells me I need to take more notes. And I told him no.
I do too.
Yeah,
you know who?
kind of like I told him, can
Yeah.
you?
No. Yeah, right.
Hey,
But
the most
can
awesome
you?
note taker I've ever seen is Casey Castillo, man.
She's
Really?
She just,
fantastic.
yeah. She's got a little notebook. She's
I'm
ready
good
for
when I
anything
want to
that comes
be.
up.
She's a stud.
I want to grow up and be like her.
Yeah, she's a
Casey
stud.
Castillo is definitely one of my
Jeremy
heroes.
too.
We'll
These
tell her.
guys, they got their shit together. They're
And she's
really good.
so nice.
Yeah.
But so 10 questions. I got 5. Heather's got 5. Same questions for each candidate. Here we go. Number 1.
Could you repeat that, please?
Here we go. Number 1.
Yes.
So many POA members believe that the POA has a problem with overspending on projects and certain proposed amenities. Do you believe that the POA overspends or not? And why do you believe that?
Short answer, yes. We come into, there's a lot of projects, there's a lot of good they're doing, not knocking the last board, current board, anything. These guys have accomplished a lot. So as we come through here, I look at things like, we're talking about remodeling the lodge.
Yeah.
So we come up with that, the board first brings up a suggestion of putting some shade covers up, and that's basically how it started.
Yeah.
But then by the time we get the renderings and stuff and everybody sees, it's gone from the shade covers to remodeling the whole front of the thing,
All kinds of
and
stuff.
that's kind of some of the stuff that, as new board members, we can kind of put a control on. To me, it's like if we have a $200,000 budget for a project and we send it out to architects, designers, engineers, all this stuff,
Yeah.
and then they come back with this beautiful, and it does. They usually look really cool. I mean, the new dog park too. They
Well,
look
they're
really cool.
salesmen,
They
too.
just updated it like not that long ago.
It's
right?
beautiful as
But
far as I'm
that was
concerned.
interior. They're talking about some exterior stuff here.
okay.
But they come up with these designs. All of a sudden, next thing you know, we're at 380,000. I mean, we don't. Hypothetical numbers, please don't hold me in
Yeah,
anything.
no.
But
Sure,
it's
yeah.
that kind of thing that goes on, that the drawings and everything get blown out of what we originally bid. We're budgeted for and what we can do.
Yeah.
So I just kind of look at a lot of it that way. I mean, it's kind of if it goes over our cost budget, let's send it back to bid or send it back to design and get what's within our budget and stay within our means and our budget. And I want to run things like I do my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
My dad taught me a lot, man. My dad was a banker. He taught me a lot about finances and stuff. And it's flat out, man. If you don't have it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
100%.
So let's kind of stick with that. So
Well, also, if it's
yeah.
not broke, don't fix it. I mean, that facility is beautiful inside and out as far
Yeah.
as
Agreed.
I'm concerned, in my opinion.
But there are certain things that, we Band-Aid and Band-Aid and Band-Aid forever within the community.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it is cheaper to
Just fix
actually
it right.
long term. Let's
Yeah.
do it right. And let's do it right one time.
Kind of like the
And-
golf
and-
fountain they had to finally get rid of and change, like that
Yeah.
whole big thing they just redid over there.
Yeah, with the
they
pond
needed
and
to
everything.
redo that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that needed to be.
I mean,
redone.
that was saving us huge on the
Yes.
water bill every month
Yes,
and stuff. So
definitely. That
there's
makes
a fine line
sense.
between just keep fixing things
Mm-hmm.
and spending so much labor, time, and stuff doing that versus actually getting it done right once and boom.
Agree.
Good. All right.
Did I say yes to that?
Yes, you did. So I'll summarize it. Yeah, you believe the POA
So,
overspends
yeah.
on some stuff, and you'd like to take.
And that's
closer
just a
look at
small
it.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to learn more when I get there.
Sure. Number 2, are you in favor of increasing or decreasing POA dues? And how do you support your position on how or why dues should increase or decrease?
That's not a yes or no answer. That's
Well,
I think we should.
Let me give you.
I don't think we should decrease dues. I don't think we should increase dues. I would like to see somewhat of a, I don't want to call it a moratorium, but let's just slow down a little bit. We've last couple boards have really gone through quite a bit, improving a lot of parks, improving a lot of areas, all the parking lots and stuff we did. I'm kind of all for that to an extent. Let's slow down, do it as we can afford it. Don't leave shortfalls in our reserve accounts and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of like heroes right now because they said that we were going to raise it $30 a month and they dropped it to 11, but they left a shortfall in the reserve account for the roads. So, let's do it as we can afford it. Again, if we don't have it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
But let's spread these parks out. Let's do one like every year and a half, and let's work for future boards to improve and stuff also. And I think if we spread the money out and stuff, I truly believe in my heart, we can get through a couple years without raising dues if we manage it properly, do it as required. Certain things need to be done before others. And, we're never going to get around the point of maintenance cost, fuel cost, everything's going up,
Yeah.
cost of living goes up. I'm doing everything I can to work with that and still stick to my pledge.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be this, hey, I made a promise to everybody and it's not going to happen. But all I can do is try. And I believe in my heart that working with some smart people like Renee in the finances and stuff, that we can make at least put a hold on it for a couple of years, and just try to spread things out that don't need to be done today. let's plan for tomorrow and plan ahead to be able to afford them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be today. I mean, you look at, we remodeled a lot of parks in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Could we have,
100%.
and we still need more. I mean, Diamond Park to me is just like a danger zone with that turtle out there and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
That thing is made out of fiberglass. It's been there since you were
It's
born.
It's the same
You know?
same place that
Yeah.
it was when I was a kid.
I love that
So,
one, though.
you know, hopefully that's answered that for you.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, with the kind of money that we're spending on all of this stuff, I mean, I think we could have added 2, 3, 4 pools to the community. You know, you go look at Canyon Hills, and they have multiple pools.
Well, it's
I would
kind
love
of
to
funny.
have
Like, where does it stop? Because
Yeah.
I've literally had somebody send me an email that they want to put a bridge from Happy Camp over to the island where we shoot the fireworks from.
To what?
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
What? A bridge?
Yeah. I mean,
A
you know,
what?
this
There,
can go
dude.
on forever. We get, you know,
Yeah.
we
A bridge
have to
for
be-
what? You could park 4 fucking cars on the place.
It's
Like,
probably
get
for
out
the
of
people
here.
that don't have boats or whatever. But anyway, you know, it's shocking to see all the different ideas, and you know,
How about a
badass
ferry?
community.
How about,
A ferry that just
no?
takes us
How about we
around, that'd
take
be
You
so
talking
cool.
one with
we'll
little wings, or are you talking the boat?
No,
we
boat
already have a
ferry.
ferry. We just need to monetize it. It's called the Marine Patrol. They don't do, you know, they're not chasing people
Oh,
around the
let's
lake
not talk
all
about
day.
that
They
right
could take some time, but anyways, we get back on the questions.
That's a whole
here.
other question.
Good answer. Yeah, right. So,
Number 3.
yeah, number 3. It's about the flag dispute. Sounds like
Do we have a dispute?
yeah, this may be a yesterday question, but how do you plan to settle the flag dispute without violating the First Amendment and bring the community together on this issue? And do you agree or disagree with the emergency rule banning the flags when it first started?
Well, first of all, I don't believe any city, HOA, POA can violate the First Amendment. So that's just, you know, I mean, people might have made suggestions or stuff that other people feel like it does violate those rights. It wouldn't have worked. It would have
Yeah.
been shot down in every court in the land.
Yeah.
The executive action, you know, I don't really want to talk bad about the board or anything and the person that made that decision, but it was not warranted. It was not a health or safety hazard. Timing was poor. I mean, we've already got several issues, and this just divided our community. As long as I've been here, more than anything I've ever seen, I
That's
think.
true.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
true.
yeah.
100%.
You know,
I've
same with
never seen our
Yeah.
community like
Yeah.
that.
Decades
And without a
decades.
doubt, you know, I'll admit, I did the little golf cart parade after that.
I
and,
did too.
You know, and it was kind of a,
By accident.
JJ.
you know, I mean, but I supported that, and I support that belief. I support people's beliefs and, you know, what they feel comfortable in writing themselves, as long as they're not violating somebody else's rights.
Yeah.
That they have the right to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody's in agreement with the 7 dirty words, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to get George Carlin back in here and explain what the 7 dirty words?
I
what they
wish
are?
we could.
Yeah, he was
He's
a
a great
comedian.
man.
Yeah. But, you know, I have not honestly found one person that just really believes that we should be able to say F or F, you know, whatever these words are
Right.
on their card. And we don't need it. This community doesn't want it. Everybody
No.
agrees on that. No problem. You know, I got a blue line tattoo on my arm here from a buddy that passed away. I carry a blue line tattoo flag on my golf cart everywhere I go.
I say we have matching flags. I pulled up. I was like,
Them blue
hey.
lines.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me. I lost my buddy Gary Sullivan, who was an RSO, and
Sorry to
you
hear
know,
that.
he's been in my heart ever since. I have firefighters in my family. I have officers in my family. My nephew just retired from Brave PD lieutenant, badass guy. But you know, it means a lot to me, and it's something deep in my heart.
Agreed.
You know, just like when the 9/11 thing came up with the blue light bulbs and everything. You know, supporting
Yeah.
this whole thing. That's me all through and through. I'm going to support the blue line all the way.
I agree. Love that.
Fantastic.
You want me to speed these answers up?
No, you're
you did
doing
good.
great.
Yeah. The North Ski area. It's a common interest area. It's open to all dues-paying POA members. Yet the Water Ski Club received a ruling from the board to only allow water skiers to use the front portion of that, even if the ski club's not using it. Would you have voted in favor of this? Yes or no?
No.
No. So you believe it's
Do I
a
end it there? You want me to talk a little?
common interest area?
Ah,
It is a common interest area. You know, we all pay dues. We're all equally to this. I am somewhat sympathetic to the ski club, though. They have been using it since the 70s.
Yeah.
They have been maintaining it since the 70s.
Yeah.
I've in the last 6 weeks, I've been working trying to, and I think a lot of other board members are active in this too right now, communicating with both clubs, trying to make this out. I always kind of point out it's kind of like a divorce, you know, if even if a divorce is lopsided, and you go to a judge, if you two agree, the judge will agree.
Right.
And that's kind of where we're at right now. These clubs are actually coming back together. They're working on this stuff. And I truly believe in my heart, if they agree on something, whichever board, whether it goes to the current board that's there now or hopefully I'm on the next board when it comes in, I think it would be ratified, because that's all that matters, as long as those guys are happy and it's working for the community and it's fair to pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
You know, weekend should be open.
Involved?
Right.
Yeah, work it out, guys.
You know, let them hash this out, and they're doing a great job. I know they're communicating to each other now. I've met with them ski club on last Tuesday. I've had communication with the wakeboard club, and these guys now are got it inside themselves, and they're taking this on and they're tackling it.
I think they can work it out.
Let them handle this, and then we'll ratify what they have and get it done and solve that issue. Sure. I think that's the best way to do it.
Got to get back to spending.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. Number 5. This is my final question. Yeah, here we go. POA members' number one concern is their home's value, and they want it to continue to increase. Do you believe that increasing POA dues helps increase or decrease members' property values, and why?
Okay, so from a reserve standpoint, and we do reserve studies every 3 years, I think it is, in Canyon Lake. They set standards and minimums. Here again, like, you guys are in real estate business. How many times did anybody ask you how the reserves are or whatever? But, it does reflect on our property values if we are below that magic number. I think it's like 31% or something is what we have. So, from that point, if you don't have enough money to do the dues and to do the reserves, and you have to raise dues to get there, you have to raise dues to get there. We need to keep that. Right now the road reserve is super important to keep on top of that and get up there. But on the other hand, I mean, property values are skyrocketing through the roof. Yeah,
they are. They're really, really silly right now.
So
really silly.
Outside of that, I would pretty much have to say that it doesn't affect, raising POA dues is
as a main driver.
Yeah, we don't need to. Either way. Yeah, lost me for a second there.
My turn.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
All right.
She's got the tough ones, though.
Yeah, she does.
Many POA members believe they should have a vote or a say in decisions made by the board. Do you agree? And if so, how will you implement a system that will allow members to be involved in decision making regarding rules and spending? Okay,
so that's kind of a yes and no answer. I want 100% the community a lot more active and involved than what they are. How we do that, we barely get people to turn out and vote. The last couple elections, we've not even met a quorum. We're paying all this money to go to a second vote, let alone day-to-day issues. But, if the community gets involved on every single little issue, it's going to drag the board down immensely. We could not keep up with everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, we've got all these committees and stuff. People can go to every single meeting with the board or with any of these committees, get involved there. I'm all for, though, having, technology we got now, and there's all these different companies that do this for us.
Yeah.
A little survey thing, with the hot topics or the bigger spending things.
Yeah.
We definitely need input. And, why can't we just throw a survey out there or something? We discussed this a little bit last night. I don't know if anybody we had the clubs, all the candidates met with the clubs last night, and this was kind of discussed on that. And I think it's a great thing, and get input. And it can be something. A lot of people are intimidated by putting input in, and I understand that.
Yeah.
So this can be an anonymous thing, you log in with your thing, but it doesn't go any farther than that.
That's cool.
We want people to log on to make sure that they are a member of the community,
right?
Yeah.
Not just somebody coming off the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's no, 3205 whatever 167 isn't going to be listed as
your name.
Yes, and
Got it.
but get input from the actual residents of the community.
I like that. Very cool.
That's fantastic.
All right, number 2. Do you believe you have the ability to represent the entire community with neutrality and not based on your personal opinions or pander to specific groups, clubs, or friends?
Yes. Next question.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's pretty simple.
Absolutely, I do. Everybody's got their political beliefs in life, their religious beliefs in life. I can sit here. I love a good debate. I can sit here and debate back and forth with people, and I can take sides sometimes I don't even stand for.
Yeah.
But just to get a good debate, it's kind of my personality a little bit.
Me too. I'm always the devil's advocate.
But no matter what, it's communicating with people, finding out what they want, because it's not what I want.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not a king. I'm not a president. I'm a representative for the people. And if you communicate enough with the people and you listen to the people, that's what matters. And those are the ones that are making the decisions in Canyon Lake. They're the ones I want to be making the decisions in Canyon Lake.
Yep.
And hopefully I do a good job of just representing them.
I think you do a great job right there. Some members are calling for the Rules and Regulations Committee to be reinstated. What is your view on this matter?
I think it should be. There's a lot of hot topics. There's a lot of just work to be done. The current board that's there now, they face more issues and some hot topic issues than the last 10 boards combined, I think, and I really feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But, we need,
That's true.
If a lot of these things could kind of be filtered through this other stuff before it's brought to the board, we could get a lot more accomplished. I mean, Alex Cook and some of these people I've met that run the rec committee and all this stuff, they do their job, and they're getting these projects and stuff nailed before it even gets to us. And they have great presentations and stuff, and I say get to the current board. I meant, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But that's what those committees are for, and we need community involvement. All those committees. I don't think there's a committee out there that's 100% occupied of every position, and volunteer to get out there and work with these guys. But it's another way to put input from the community.
It's hard to get people involved until stuff like
Flag situation.
what's been
happening.
happening.
This is going to be a record setter year for votes, I think. And
what do they say? Good
involvement.
Yeah, strong men create weak times.
Something.
Weak times create strong men. And
Right?
strong men create. Yeah.
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 That one.
Yeah, that one.
Question 4. Many POA ran amenities run at a financial loss, including the golf course and the Lighthouse restaurant, my favorite. How do you plan to help them cash flow neutral or cash flow positive?
This is a tough question. It's a very sensitive subject with a lot of the members, residents in the community. Not meaning to hurt anybody's feelings on this or anything, but we are not a for-profit organization. That golf course is one of our best amenities we have, and it costs us money.
Yeah.
It's an amenity, though.
Yeah.
It's part of the gracious, the whole beautiful part of what Canyon Lake
package.
is. No different to me than that blue water out there that we love playing on so
Right.
much.
Yeah.
So the same thing goes to me with the restaurants that we all love going to, and get a little cocktail and stuff,
Yep.
get
Yeah.
some food. It is an amenity. It's not meant to be a for-profit thing. It's another special thing that we have that only
We have that.
we have.
What other city you have with gates around it with a restaurant? In
Yeah,
there?
restaurant and
Yeah.
bar, go down, just enjoy, watch the sunset at that place. Is that place not amazing to go to the lodge and watch
Best
It's the
sunset
most-
at
sunset
night?
spot
It's
ever.
the most beautiful
It's
place
amazing.
in Canyon Lake to go have a cocktail and or a meal
100%.
Right.
or both.
And here
Just-
again, a lot of other private gated communities that have HOAs, POAs, you are required to spend X amount of
Yes.
dollars there and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
do we want to start pushing that? Hey,
Nah,
we don't want to get in
go
that
down
right
that
now.
road.
But anyway, it's like I've watched you guys with all the other interviews with the candidates, and I totally agree with you. You guys want to see it make a profit? Let's start spending our bucks there.
Yeah.
Go down there
Let's
and
bring it in there.
support it.
I tried to
do-
go last night and I couldn't even get a table.
Everyone
that's
flies
good.
the
I
local
love-
business flag. Well, guess
I
what?
love to
Right?
see it
The
like that.
Lighthouse
Me too.
and the Country
I wasn't
Club.
even mad.
And it was really funny. Like Brad Morton came to my house. Brad Folan came to my house, and we were sitting here. Two candidates talking about our views to
Nice
each other.
guy.
He is a nice guy, and we were both kind of going over some things, and we both kind of say to each other, "Well, I got a little one thing that I think we could make one thing turn a profit." And we didn't. Neither one of us wanted to kind of tell our little secret to the other and give our stuff away. And so Brad mentioned a little bit in his interview with you, but we both had the same idea of we used to have that snack shack and bait and tackle place at Holiday
I
Harbor.
love that place.
So now we're kind of sitting here, and now
And
with the
doing it
remodel,
again,
it
yeah.
might work, but we're both sitting here thinking, downstairs below the lodge, open this up. I mean, how great would it be to have chips, hot dog machine,
Please,
all the things that we
popcorn,
love, be able to pick up.
everything.
Well,
beer.
listen, there's so many
the
people.
pool.
There's so many people who call and order takeout to be delivered to their boat that's beached at Sierra
Correct.
Park
Or at the
wherever
pool,
else.
you're
Like,
sitting laying
Yeah.
out.
Well, that's the thing.
But
Why-
I want to go
Why
full
can't we
on. I
just
want
pull
to
out?
do alcohol sales. You go pick up a 12-pack of
That
beer
would
or
be
something,
awesome.
The whole
and,
thing.
Awesome.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from the great stores we have outside the lake.
Yeah.
But let's spend our dollars here.
Yes.
We're still going to get the
Agreed.
tax. City's going to
Yes.
get the tax revenue.
Yes.
We're going to have something that shows a profit and makes some money.
Agreed.
And it's going to
For
offset
Canyon
your
Lake.
POA dues.
Yeah.
You want to really keep your POA dues the same.
Yeah.
And protect them from inflation and everything else. Like that's the way to do it.
It was
That
a
is
really
totally the way.
It was
to
just
do
so funny
And
that
I
me
think
and Brad looked at each other, and it was kind of this double stare. That
Well, that's-
we both had the same exact.
that's the
kind of
number
thing.
one thing right there.
Yeah,
That
I
dock
agree.
at the lodge
I agree.
should be a full on
Delivered
takeout.
on.
Yep.
I want
beer.
a pizza. Bring it to me.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they should paint numbers on the dock.
And it's
Right?
Oh, I'm tied up in
Yeah.
spot 4.
But
There
really,
should
Bring
be
it
like
down.
a little,
Yeah.
like
It
almost
is
like a couple docks where they're just like a 20-minute dock or whatever, and you just pull up like almost like at McDonald's.
We have a huge dock that never gets used
That's what
there.
I'm
That's a
saying.
public dock.
And it's a very special place. I mean,
It's always
you know,
empty.
And to be able to come up there and pull up there, it's very easy to tie up to and everything.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
know,
we gotta get that
You ring the
done.
bell,
That's
whatever you
so
do, you text
cool.
them up there, and you're there ready to pick up, and it's all been paid for through
That's
Done.
the
so-
app
yeah.
and done.
Done.
I mean, it would
Do
be
it.
really cool. So,
I like that.
just a thought. We'll see if we can get something like that going. You know,
That'd
we've
be
already got
awesome.
alcohol licenses and all this stuff. I don't
Yeah.
see why we couldn't
Get that happening.
work something like
Right.
that and bring some dollars into something. Plus, give us
Mm-hmm.
just another amenity that is just cool that we have that nobody else has. You know?
Right? That we can brag about to our friends. That,
Yeah.
Probably double our business that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, final question. If elected, what are your top 3 priorities you plan to tackle in your first 100 days?
You want to know my top 23 or
No, I want to know your top 3.
so? Well, I'm kind of blanking here because I had
Well,
this.
we,
all-
He's
we get
like,
that
I had
we get that
23.
answer a
Pretty
lot.
good. I
They're
did
like,
pretty
well,
good on
just
all the other
3?
questions.
Like
Just
I have,
3?
no,
I had like
I have
40.
a whole bunch. You know,
Just give me your favorite 3.
I think.
Well, one of my top things, you know, that I'm just, you know, have no doubt talking about. We remodeled the front gate, and you know, in the old days, we had a flagpole out there, and we don't have a flagpole anymore.
I remember
And that really kind of
Good point.
tears me off. So I want to put a flagpole up there.
Very good.
And I
point.
think we should have a
never thought-
flagpole at all 3 gates. You know, we could have a
Absolutely.
really nice,
Absolutely.
beautiful one at the main gate, and
Yep.
even if it's just something off the eaves or something at the other
Sure.
2 gates,
Yep.
we
Just
need
something.
and lit
Definitely.
up all the time and a flagpole.
Definitely.
You know, one of the other just things is get this community back together.
Yeah.
I mean, my heart's broken with this stuff. It tears me up.
I'm with you.
I like that.
And you know, work on communication, get everybody back together. Fiesta Days could be
That, I was going to say Fiesta Days is going to help a lot.
thing to get us going and
Fiesta
moving along
Days
there.
are
Your
close
hot
to
dogs
me.
and your beer,
Yeah.
that whole thing, like all of that
Yeah.
stuff, that's what we need again. We just need to bring
And then a
it
whole nother,
back.
you know, probably in my third, been working on things with Casey and some other people. This, you know, get the youth involved in here. You know, we're talking about
Teen
we've
center.
got a great. The teen center needs to come back.
Yeah.
Somewhere, and we don't need a building built for it. Don't need to spend any more money. We have so many buildings sitting vacant now that we can use.
I say we kick the security out of Bluebird Hall again,
Yeah,
Please?
that's where
and
it
we
used to be. Right?
reclaim that
Reclaim
place.
Bluebird Hall for
Actually,
sure.
we've used Bluebird Hall kind of as like a quasi
Yeah.
teen center. We also use it for the theater,
Yeah.
like community theater.
Yeah.
We've used it for a lot of different things
But
over the
we've,
years.
we've got a new fire chief coming in. Let's do
Yeah.
some junior fire programs.
That would be
Let's,
so cool.
Let's get some.
I want to start a
got some-
junior entrepreneurship
Yeah,
program.
that'd be cool.
That'd be super cool.
If we have
Teach them
enough
finance,
kids
stuff
involved,
like that.
You lead
I
us
would-
up. Yeah.
Oh no, I'll totally take.
Yeah.
100%.
But you know, we got an
responsibility.
ecosystem here in this lake. Let's get some guys out here and explain to us about the different fish in our lake, the different plants that grow in the lake.
Yes.
Oh, we could do that
Let's
easy.
do some stargazing. Set up at that beautiful amphitheater we
yeah.
got. You know, have more concerts and stuff geared toward the youth and the kids.
That's a good
Not
idea,
just
too.
adult concerts.
Yeah,
and
please,
stuff,
not
you know?
just
Yes.
the Rolling Stones and
Instead
not
of the
that there's
teen
anything
center,
wrong
yeah.
with
'Cause
that.
you know, you and I could do the puppet thing, right? We could do the puppet.
Right, but
deal
but
up
if
there.
you
No,
bring
just-
some music that the kids like are gonna jam to, like they'll be more.
Absolutely.
Just
part
like
of
when
it.
Real Big Fish came to Paloma
Hey.
Valley when
Yeah.
we were kids.
Right?
I was a senior.
All about it.
It was that was amazing.
Oh, so good.
That's a
Lit
great
came,
idea.
Yeah, so those
Lit,
are-
Lit
those
came.
are-
There
a
was
lot of good
people- Yeah,
ideas.
they've used some great ideas.
I got a lot of
ideas.
great people behind me that are helping me and want to see us succeed. And you know, it's just, you know, I'm just truly hoping if I'm elected, I can just do the whole community justice, work together with everybody, and make these things happen and make it work. You know,
Yeah.
I like.
I
your
really do.
answers, For sure.
I'm just representing them, and I'm just for them, and we all want a better community.
That's fantastic.
Candy Lake already is a great place to live.
Yes, it
people,
is.
People came to me when I first started running and said, let's make Candy Lake great again. I'm like, I can't do that.
It
Candy
already
Lake
is
is
great,
great.
yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Candy Lake is great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just love this place
Yeah.
every day.
Same here. That's why I've never left.
Absolutely fantastic.
They're gonna put my ashes. Probably illegal to say that, but they're gonna put my ashes in the lake. I'm retired here now, and I don't plan on leaving.
I'm never
gonna die here.
leaving. This is
I
forever.
feel the
for
same
us.
exact
yeah.
way.
I
I really
yeah,
do.
for sure,
same
100%.
exact
What a great
way.
interview! Thank you for coming on our
Cool.
show.
Tim
Had a good
Cook.
time.
Tim
You guys,
Cook, everybody.
You guys made it easy.
Vote for.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Tim.
Doug. Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
Sir.
having you on the show.
Super good to meet you.
Excellent answers.
I just crushed your hand.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, everybody stand by. We're going to switch candidates here. We have Chris Pullen coming on the back end of the show here, so just give us like 1 minute here. We're going to switch out. Hang tight.
He means 3.
Yeah. We're going to do it quick, so.
It'll happen.
I'm gonna
Thank
run
you,
to the
guys.
restroom. You were awesome.
Hey, Heather.
Yeah.
We're back.
Caught me totally
There
off
you
guard.
are.
I was
We're
a
back.
live.
You
live.
said it was going to take 3 minutes. It really took 1 minute.
It really took
It's really,
like
really
three
quick.
and a half.
We get it pretty quick. Here. Get it pretty quick. Final POA board candidate on the show.
Yep.
Mr. Chris Poland.
Welcome,
To
sir.
the show. Thank you very much for coming. I know you're a very, very busy guy. Have a lot of stuff going on right now. To come on the show to get your word out says a lot about your character, and we appreciate you, representing the POA board and doing it for nothing. It's a huge undertaking. So
Yeah.
also says a lot about your character as well. So I guess we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Get it.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris? How long you've been in the community? What you're involved with? Well,
Yeah, I'm married to my wife Barbara for over 50 years.
oh wow.
We have 3 grown children, 7 grandchildren. Have a very vivacious family, good family relationship. I have a lot of relatives here in Southern California. We're Southern Californians. We moved into Canyon Lake in 2014, and we had owned a lot here on the golf course for 10 years and decided we are going to make this our retirement home. And we built a home on the golf course, which was an interesting process if anybody that's ever tried to build in Canyon Lake. It's one of the reasons why I have such an interest in the ACC is because I've been there, done that. And but I tell you, I really appreciate the fact that this community exists to appear comfortable and appear unique and eclectic. It's a very important part of who we are. We chose Canyon Lake for our retirement community because it was a diverse community with families and kids. We went to some of these 50 plus communities.
Yeah.
You know
don't wanna
what?
do that.
There are no kids, and it's no motorcycles, and there's no nothing in there. It's like the most boring place on earth. So we didn't do that. We came here to Canyon Lake, built our house. I'm a registered civil and structural engineer. I'm an earthquake engineering expert.
Wow,
I
very
have
cool.
an international reputation in earthquake engineering. But we're not here to talk about that. That's my other life.
I think it's cool though.
I think that's
I think
right.
that's very cool.
In the last 15 years, I've focused my attention on developing community resilience guidelines, which is helping communities understand what to do to get ready for disasters, these awful disasters that happen, so that they can be better prepared. I'm a member of the National Academy of Engineering. This is a very prestigious organization. There's only a handful of us that belong to that and recognizes our accomplishments. CEO of a large structural engineering firm for 21 years. I was with that firm for 40 years. This is unheard of. Be with a firm for 40
That's a
years.
long time.
It's
Yeah,
a long
it is a
time.
long
I got
time.
there. I went there after I got out of Stanford with my degree in structural engineering.
Stanford.
And,
Stanford's
it
wow.
was
Great school.
it was a terrific run for 40 years. We took that business. I said we because I was the fourth CEO, and my partners and I. There was just a handful of us back when I started with them in '74, but we took it from about a $5 million business with a handful of people to a $30 million business with 180 employees and 6 offices
Wow.
up and down the state of California. So the whole notion of operating a corporation this size is something I have a huge amount of experience for because I've done it. I've run it. And it's so interesting because people when they react to budgets and spending money and all that stuff, if you go in thinking about it in terms of your own financial stability and how much things cost, you really don't have the right impression. I used to always counsel my partners, we are not spending your personal money here. We are spending the corporation's money, and it costs us this much money to do this. This is what insurance costs. This is what rent costs. This is what rent in downtown
Right.
Yeah.
urban
We
areas
spend this,
cost.
we stand to make this.
Correct. Yeah.
And you know, it's just something you have to get used to. But you have to be very prudent, but you have to get used to that sort of thing. So anyway, Canyon Lake came here in 2014. I joined the Facility Review Committee, which is now the FPC, and I was there just as they were considering the pump track initial stages. Long conversation about where to put that pump track, whether it should be at Eastport or Outrigger Park or where it should be. It went through a number of conversations with the community. There were focus groups of kids that came in and talked about it. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is all those kids are grown up now because it takes so long to get these kind of things done. But anyway, the fact of the matter was there was a long conversation that went through it. And three boards before mine, made the decision that they wanted that pump track to be at a place where it was least intrusive to the people of Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
And also to develop an area that's always been kind of an eyesore.
Yeah.
And that's a good
what
idea.
that
Place is.
Yeah,
and
it
so
is. Yeah.
it went from what was originally thought to be a $40 or $50 or $60,000 portable pump track sitting on the asphalt at Eastport to $2 million amenity.
Yeah.
A whole park that a whole family can enjoy.
Whole
That's
new
safe.
park.
The whole deal. And it had to go through planning. It had to go through permitting. It's a mess when you build along a Blue River Creek like that.
Yeah,
We got
I
a
know
sewer
there's
that
water
runs,
that runs through there.
It's just everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it takes time to get that kind of stuff done. I was on FPC. I still am a part of the dredge committee. The attempts to dredge our lake, because when the lake goes down in the summertime, the East Bay gets you can't access some of the docks.
Yeah.
So I went through a long process there, and we're now waiting for the Army Corps of Engineers to tell us what we need to do.
Huh? They're helping us on that, huh? That's cool.
Well, helping is an interesting thing when you talk about a federal agency, but that's quite all right. I was on the men's golf board right before I ran for the Canyon Lake POA board. I am a golfer. We live on the golf course.
Yeah.
I am a golfer. I have a lousy handicap, but who cares?
Same with me. I call myself a golfer, but I have a lousy handicap too. Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
I'm right there with you.
I belong to the Canyon Lake Men's Group, CLAMS, work at the TWG, the Tuesday Work Group, as a volunteer. When I was on the board, before I became the president, I was a liaison to the Green Committee, so I saw how that worked. And I am the liaison to the ACC now. And that's why a lot of the changes in rules and focus and the streamlining that's going on with the ACC
I guess a better question is, what are you not involved with?
Yeah. Right.
What is the CLAM committee, by the way?
That's the Canyon Lake Association of Men's. And it's
right.
it's like the women's club. It's
Yeah.
the men's club. It's the women's club is a whole lot bigger and a lot more active.
Yeah.
Because the men have split their attention between the men's club, and then the men's golf club, and the men's other kind of clubs.
And then we're going to
that
have a
sort of-
junior men's club.
Yeah, junior men's club. Isn't that something? We're not supposed to say junior in the professional world, you know.
Well, we have the junior women's club. We actually just sponsored
Golf sponsor.
a tea sponsor for the junior women's club. That's coming up this
Yep.
weekend, actually.
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah, this weekend.
And so am I, actually.
Oh, are you?
A tea
Oh, cool.
sponsor, and I contributed to the raffle baskets. That's it.
Yay.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's awesome.
So-
hit us up, and I wanted to contribute something, but we don't really have a tangible product.
No.
But I told them, hey, we'll give you like a free appraisal for refis, like, we'll pay for your
cool.
your home warranty on real estate
Something.
transactions,
Something.
like
We'll do
whatever we
whatever.
could do to
Whatever.
help. We're here to help.
That's cool. So anyway, that's probably. I know see a Canyon Lake president right now and have been for the last year. And I guess what I'd like to say there is just that having been on the board for the first year and then take over as the president the second year, I saw some really extraordinary opportunities to formalize the board's process.
Yeah.
Okay. And this has all happened behind the scenes. But getting project lists and deadlines, getting an annual agenda, getting settled on a policy for how we're going to do our budgeting, just formalizing a lot of things that have been done over the years for different ways. And
Yeah.
that's all gone on, and I'm really pleased with how we've done that. And then I attend the city council. I don't think many people watch the city council meetings, but the POA is represented there every meeting, and I give them a briefing on what we're up to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
And someone
I like
needs to
how
do
the
this.
city and the POA. Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of that. Right, having two governing bodies who don't
Great.
know which one's doing what, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's a very interesting thing because I don't know if you guys have dug into the history of that. Canyon Lake was formed in the late '60s. It was really built up very slowly as a place where people could come buy a piece of land and have a private water ski lake. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's totally true.
And that's why there's a campground over there, because they camp at the campground and they pay their dues at the
Yep.
lake and they go out there and water ski. And
Yep.
the old timers would tell me how they used to go out there and there was nobody on the lake. They
Yep.
could
No
water
one.
ski.
Nobody.
I had a houseboat. We water skied on Lake Shasta for years in Northern California, and it's just wonderful to be out there when there's nobody around. out
Lake
there.
Shasta's on my bucket
Shasta's
list.
one of my favorite. Oh, I used to
It's
go
on my
all the
bucket
time.
list.
I
They have-
love Shasta.
Oh, you can get the houseboats on Shasta.
I got a houseboat.
I want to
did
go do it.
I did it
We're
when I
gonna
was a
do it.
teenager.
I owned a
actually.
houseboat on Shasta.
Did you?
It looked like a travel. Well, it was pretty good size, but it
Houseboats
looked
are
like
so
a
cool.
Travel trailer with pontoons on
kind
it?
of it was a pontoon boat. It was like just a trailer. It really is. But it slept 15 people. Had
Hey.
That's
two
fine with
bed-
me.
It's
I'm
okay.
in.
It was cool. We had a lot of fun with that. But what I want to say is that we got into the early mid '70s, and Canyon Lake, the region was starting to grow, and Canyon Lake didn't feel like they were being cared for properly by Riverside County because we were
Yeah.
a county, and so some guys got together. Some of them are still around here. That said, we should be a city. We should
Yeah,
be
I
a city
remember
so we
this.
can stand up and have a say,
Mm-hmm.
and so they incorporated. And
local control. That happened in
Yeah.
the early 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then incorporated.
I think it was earlier than that because we actually went bankrupt.
It could have
in
been
89.
late 80s.
It was mid '80s, maybe.
Was it?
But we did
I remember when it happened.
Yep.
And then that's
Maybe
when
it
all,
was- maybe it
when
was
all
the
the
early 90s.
confusion started. It's like, who's who here?
Who's
Like,
who here? Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Anyway, we can talk about that, but that's not on your list of things to talk about. It is good. It is good to have a city, have that local control. I wish that we would recognize that we are all the city and we are all the POA.
Yeah.
It's not us against them, it's us against us.
Yeah.
And that we ought to all work together, and that the city has this wonderful limitation of liability. They have liability protection you can't believe. That's why they can provide policing. That's why they can do building departments. That's why
Oh,
they
I
can
know.
do all that stuff. And we can, as a private corporation, we can't have all that.
Yeah.
And so
We
we need
take
the
all the
city.
risk.
Right.
We need the city to take all the risks that they get the liability for because we are the city.
Yeah.
And then we need to do what we need to do to make Canyon Lake this very special place that everybody wants to live.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're pretty close to being that. Right. I mean, we have been that special place all these years, but to continue to grow that, I like that idea. I really do. Let's jump right into some questions. Here. What do
Okay,
you think?
we're good.
Are you done?
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you said 5 to 10 minutes,
sure.
so I think I was 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think that was a great start there. A lot of great information. A very distinguished individual.
Extremely.
Yeah. So jump into question number 1 here. Many POA members believe that the POA has a problem with overspending on projects and certain proposed amenities. Do you believe the POA overspends or not, and why do you believe that?
Okay, I'm going to take your lead, and you said if the folks want direct answers. So I'm going to give you a direct answer.
That's just what they're telling me.
No. There's no way that we're overspending. Our roads are based on studies. They always have been. Studies. We have a road study right now that's out. We've been through a terrible lawsuit. We're collecting millions of dollars on that lawsuit to repair our roads right now. There is a study about how we're going to spend that money over the next 7 years to correct all of that. Everything is bid out. It's done by first-class contractors with proper inspections. That's the roads.
Yeah.
Because you got to think. When you think about spending money on projects, you got to think in 3 buckets. That's our road reserve bucket that takes care of that. And because we're a private corporation, you ought to think about driving through the gate and driving onto your driveway.
Yeah.
We own that road.
Yeah.
All of us own
Yes.
that road.
Yep.
And so we have to take care of it. So we spent like $10 million 10 years ago on these roads. And now we're going to spend $20 million in the next 7 years on these roads. And when you
Yeah.
get done with those in 7 years, we get done with that. Guess what? We get to spend another $20 million to keep it going on
Or maybe
in the future.
even 30
Forever.
at that point.
Well, who knows? That's all the process.
Yeah.
So the question is not do we need to save money to fix our roads? No, we have to fix our roads.
No matter what.
And we have to fix our roads no matter what. They're ours, and so we have to take care of that. In the second bucket is the reserves for repair and maintenance, okay, and replacement. And so everything that we have here There's about $30 million worth of assets that we own. These are the facilities and the grounds and the golf course. Golf course, by the way, is the most valuable thing we own. All those things have got to be cared for, and that takes money. The state of California,
Especially the golf course.
the state of California said years ago. Excuse me, let me just shut this puppy off.
Sure, no problem.
Your kid.
There we go. The state of California, a long time ago, realized that homeowners associations were not very good at saving for their future repairs. And kind of reminds me of the United States. You know, we have this terrible problem with our infrastructure right now, and we need trillions of dollars to fix our infrastructure. The reason for that is because we never took care of it. So we have the same problem here. Anyway, we are required to have a reserve study done every 3 years. And in that reserve study has to be updated every year. There are over 1,000 items in the reserve study. You name it, it's listed in there. Its useful life is listed. Its cost to replace is listed. And it tells us how much we're supposed to be spending and how much we're supposed to be saving every year for those things. The nice thing about that study is it lists what it thinks the replacement costs ought to be. Okay, so that gives us a benchmark for our planning. So we know that. Are we overspending? That's where I'm going.
You have an idea where you're going.
Yeah. Are we overspending? We know what we have to take care of those things. The state of California says we have to take care of things. We want to take care of those things because we don't want this place to turn into Sun City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We
The
want
golf
this
course in Sun City is what you're talking
Well,
about?
how about the houses in Sun City and the community center?
Yeah, there you
We
go.
don't want
Yeah.
that.
Golf course is super sad. It's literally dirt.
It is.
It's gone.
Literally, it's not
a
there.
It's a goner.
So what happens? So then you got to spend the money. So you set the money aside. We don't have to borrow it. We don't have to get approval to do it. We are responsible to ourselves to do it. And then all those projects are done. They're designed by professionals. They are gone through review by our staff and our committees as is appropriate. And the projects are bid out, and they're done in a very efficient manner. That brings us to the third bucket, and that's the capital improvement projects. Are we overspending for capital improvement projects? Well, there's a great example.
I think that's mainly the question too, right? That third bucket.
Yeah, and let's look at the large dog park. Everybody wants to talk about the large dog park.
Yeah,
now.
that's been it
Why
has
do we
been
have to
hot
spend
button.
$100,000 on a large dog park? Why can't we just spend $5,000? Why can't we buy a tent for a shade structure? What's the big deal here? Well, what I like to do is if you were there when the dog people, I call them that, when the dog park folks come by, and they describe what they'd like, and they give us sketches about what they want, and we talk about that, and then we hire a design professional that comes through with a dog park that looks like the small dog park. It's just not a dirt patch.
Yeah.
And we have people here. Maybe you folks are that way. They absolutely love their dogs,
Yeah.
and these are very, very special places for them.
Yeah.
So then,
A lot of people don't realize that every single podcast that we do, my German Shepherd's literally
Right there.
right here.
Yep.
Every
The cats,
single podcast.
If we could have the cats,
you never
they
see
would
her.
be here,
Yeah, Nemo and Nacho.
All
they-
the animals. I mean, seriously.
Sorry.
So
to interrupt.
we have the dog park folks that want their dog park, and they're very happy with the $100,000 dog park. It is a large area, and it needs shade structures, it needs grass, it needs infrastructure, it needs a lot of
Curbing
stuff.
and- yeah.
It's more than just a place for your dog to go do his business. Okay.
Yeah, it's for them to go socialize and play.
It's a place. That's the kind of place. Then you turn around and you say, well, what about Sierra Park North? Why do we have to spend $2 million for Sierra Park North? And you say, why can't we just put the temporary thing over on the asphalt and let the kids play over there? Well, it's the folks, the families and the young families that are coming here, they want to have that kind of amenity. We see them growing up around us. This is the
Right.
thing they want to have. We're looking at making our taking a piece of dirt, an awful looking place, and turning it into a beautiful family park. That's really what that thing is. It's a family park the way it's coming down. And that's going to add to the value of our community. When people come through the gate and look at our community, that's one more thing that they just can't believe that we have.
Right.
That's what that's about. One of your questions is about property values. This place, as it does that kind of stuff, continues to get better and better and
Right.
better. But you say, are we overspending? Well, how do you know if you're overspending? Well, you find out if you haven't budgeted properly. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean you're overspending. That just means you didn't budget properly. If you're not procuring your work properly, that would be overspending. But we're doing that. We're going through the bidding process. We're doing everything we're supposed to be. And then you have to just come back to this first thing that we were talking about, is that, do you understand that we have to spend this kind of money to get this to happen? There was an example, maybe you remember this, of a tennis building we were supposed to build over by the tennis courts.
Right.
And that
I remember
tennis
that.
building was supposed to be a $250,000 building. There
Yeah.
was no way it was ever going to be a $250,000
Never.
building. As I understand, the price came
Never.
in at $600,000. The guys had the money in the bank. They
Yeah.
did, but they chickened out on the $600,000.
Really?
They didn't want to spend it. They just voted no at the last minute. And you say, well, we could have had it. It cost us quite a bit more to build it today. It could have been there, but it
Everything's getting
takes
more expensive.
vision and leadership. You have to have a vision about who you want to be to make those kind of decisions. So no, I think everything's in place to do things properly.
Well,
have
I don't want to get off topic, but I
Yeah.
do have a specific question.
Sure.
I haven't asked anybody else except you because they haven't been on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But have you guys addressed the safety issue from having Sierra Park North to Sierra Park South and the influx of kids wanting to traverse the main road between that, especially being on a blind hill and a blind corner? And I believe we actually had a youngster die on a bicycle in the past. I think it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, you know, when we were running around, and I say we because I was on the FRC at the time, we were on looking at all these places. The way that we were looking at both Sierra Park North and there's a Sierra Park South. I don't know if there's a chunk of grass over there.
yeah,
Both of those areas have streams that come along, and there's huge culverts
yeah, yep.
through there. We walk through the culverts.
Yeah.
Those culverts are safe to walk through.
Oh, so we're going to use the culvert.
Well,
that'd be
what
cool.
what the FRC said was, look at this is fantastic. We can use the culverts, and that's originally we said that's how we can get to the bathrooms. Now that has not been part of the plan. That's
So
all,
the 1.5 to $2 million does not include another bathroom.
it does. Oh, it
Oh,
does.
it does. Okay.
We put the bathroom over there. We got the parking over
just
there. Everything
clarifying.
there.
Yeah.
But the whole question about is it safe for the kids to cross the road?
Yeah,
My answer is I don't think the kids are going to have to cross the road. What does it mean to us to have to go in and make sure that we can allow people to traverse through there without putting ourselves at
that's
risk?
a great idea.
That's gonna come up. I think
Yeah.
that was part of the original planning. It has not shown up anywhere in any of the rules. It's going to be, in my opinion, a whole lot easier to get concurrence with the permitting agencies once we're all in place.
Good deal.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Next question. Are you in favor? Well, hang on. Yeah, question number 2, right? We spent so much time on question
Yeah,
number 1.
I'm the
Hang on, am I on 2 or 3
Yeah.
here?
I
Am I
am
on 2 or
really
3?
messing up your schedule here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Are you in favor of increasing or decreasing POA dues, and how do you support your position on how or why dues should increase or decrease? I think you just handled that question
Yeah.
with
Could
the
I
last
just
question.
Could
but-
I say one thing just real quickly
Sure.
about that because
Yeah,
I know
please
that
do.
I'm way over my time. But
Yes, sir.
I make a big deal out of the board's principles that we established at the beginning of the year. And the whole notion about whether you're going to increase or decrease the dues is rooted in what you say are our values, what's our purpose, and what's our vision. Okay?
Yeah.
This board said, and I didn't write, I prepared the document, but it was a consensus document, and we worked for a half a day on the thing to set the vision. But when they said, we want to be a transitioning community, we want to take care of families, we want to be a resort-style community for permanent residents, we want to increase property values, we want to do all this great stuff, we want to enhance our amenities, it all sound like dollars.
Yeah.
The good news is, when there's 4,800 of us paying, it only costs all of us a few dollars.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we increase dues? If that's what we're able, is that our vision? We're going to
That's where
increase
we're
dues.
going, then, yeah.
If we don't mind if we slowly slide into Sun City, we don't have to increase the dues, and it's a slow slide unless you just stop paying dues.
Super slow side. 20 years, maybe. 15.
But to me that's the whole thing, and I challenge the new board. I challenge the new board to take the time to set their principles and make their decisions based on what their goals
I'm
are.
a huge fan of setting down and setting, keystone or set out your vision.
Right.
For whatever it was. I was a member of CAL FIRE Riverside, and our fire chief
Yep.
had his 5 core principles.
Yep.
And it really kind of tied everything together for all the ground floor people.
Yeah.
Right.
And it kind of it realigns your vision, and it kind of gives everybody set in the same direction. So I'm a huge fan of that.
Right.
Huge fan of it. Not a huge fan of spending more money, but in your defense, the way that you word it, it makes sense. So, number 3, how do you plan to settle this flag dispute without violating the First Amendment and bring the community together on this issue? And do you agree or disagree with the emergency rule banning the flags? And I know you're on the board, you're kind of part of that, so Answer the best.
Well, let me react to that first, just to say,
Sure,
and,
yeah.
and not to take credit, but to take responsibility.
Sure.
This was an issue that I decided to champion. Every issue that we have, a board member is assigned or volunteers to champion it. We can't get together and talk about these things, but individuals of us can champion these things. The next thing I wanted to say is this issue really surfaced back in June and July, when the we call the dirty words started showing up on the flags.
Yes,
okay?
the dirty words.
And we had.
Is there 7 or is there 6? I always get confused.
Who really knows?
Anyways,
we
go
got
ahead.
we got rid of that. We don't talk about that anymore. So. Anyway, what I want to say is that there was a continuous stream of emails to us about political flags. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I am absolutely focused on making sure that we address all the concerns that the community has.
Sure.
So I said, the way I want to do this, I want to enhance the communication with the community. I want to enhance our ability to listen to the community. I'm going to do what other boards, in my observation,
Now-
didn't do.
Now,
Go ahead.
just to clarify, is your guys' definition of the community 51%? Or could it just be like a group of 10 or 15 or maybe 20 people that you're going to address that? I know you represent everybody equally.
The community is a whole community. It's all 4,800.
Yeah.
It's 4,800, 11,000. What would you like to say? 4,800 voting members, 11,000 residents. That's
No,
the
I mean
community. got
the
it. But here,
emails,
I know
rather.
where you're going. But here's the thing. If you're one of the 20 people who's scared to walk out of your house, and I could read you the emails.
I don't believe there's one person scared to walk out of their house in Cannon Lake, honestly. But go ahead.
Okay.
With all due respect, I don't mean to be
I
rude.
will honor you, but what I want to say, this is why I was taking my time to do this.
Sure.
I think it's important to start out with a discussion.
Yes.
And I held a discussion at the open meeting in February. Yeah, it was late at night. That was unfortunate. There was some other contentious issues that we couldn't quit talking about. I think it was
Honestly,
the North Ski rules.
I don't even know all the ins and outs of it, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Sure.
And unfortunately, a lot of the people who have made this into a monumental issue never took the time to read all the things that have been written and said about it. We had a discussion.
That's a problem.
The night of the discussion, we had a handful of people who stayed over and said some things that were pretty inflammatory about what they were afraid of, okay, and about what needed to have happen. I had put these people off for 5 months because I wanted the election to be over, because in my mind this was about election signs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a discussion and I posted 8 questions on the agenda. A couple of people made comments about one of the questions: what flags should we be allowed to fly? Just a question. A couple of people said some things that just turned into wildfire.
Yeah.
Okay, and the whole thing turned into a wildfire.
I don't know how you deal with it, honestly.
Well, it's just so I said, this whole thing blew up. I said, we got to have a special meeting. These words are very important to me. We have to have a special meeting, and in that special meeting, we have to see if we need to make some rule changes. And in Davis Sterling, we are allowed to make rule changes for 120 days if we believe that there's a safety issue. Now, we don't have to argue about whether there's a safety issue or not. I wanted to have a conversation with my board about whether we had a safety issue and we needed emergency rules.
Yeah.
I didn't call an emergency meeting. I called a regular board meeting on a special day. And I posted what I considered was maybe some valid emergency rules that would last for 120 days until we could make the
Just to
go
curb-
through the normal process.
Curb the emails
Okay.
and hear everyone out kind
Just
of
to
thing?
get everything to
Yeah.
settle down.
Sure.
Well, my board said to me, I hope people understand that this is the way we operate. I don't talk to them otherwise.
Yeah.
My board said to me, this is not an emergency. And they tabled it. They said, let's take this through the normal process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I brought to them at a special meeting a set of rules that may have lived by 120 days, but all of a sudden it has been characterized as an emergency meeting that was unnecessary. There was no emergency. Nobody's afraid. Those people who wrote those emails were making it up. Okay, but that's what it was.
There's still
And so
a complaint.
Well, yeah.
No, they can complain. I don't mind the complaint. It's
Yeah.
just that it's the thing that's frustrating. It was frustrating to me is that we are required to take at least 2 and maybe 3 months to do a rule change unless we think there's some kind of a safety issue, or it could have
life and safety hazard.
it's a life safety issue, or if it could have a significant impact on our property values. That's what it
Right.
says in Davis
Yeah.
Sterling. Okay, so then I went through that. I said, okay, we'll have our regular discussion. We'll stop this. We got tons of testimony. Okay,
Yeah.
at that night, we'll stop this and we'll schedule our next meeting, which was in March. Before that meeting occurred, I got a petition. Okay, it was a petition with some people who basically had 600 signatures. 600 people signed it.
Sure.
They represented 600 of the 11,000, if you will, not
Yeah.
600 of the 4,800.
Sure.
And they wanted to have a vote. They wanted to vote on the rules. That's what they asked for.
Does the 11,000 include children?
I did.
Census wise?
I looked at.
Can they sign a petition? Like, how many petition signing members do we actually have? I know we have just under 12,000 actual POA or residents. Right?
We have 12,000
right?
residents. We get for a petition like that. If you're asking the board to take an action, then they actually are asking to take an action we can't give them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. We took it in the spirit. We have 4,800. There are 4,800
Okay.
lots. There's 4,800 votes out there.
Okay.
Now, of that, an informal tally of the 600 signatures said that there was between 260 and 290 votes represented. Okay, so it was more than 5%.
Okay.
That's a significant number.
Yeah.
But the matter was that they asked for an opportunity to vote on the rules, and I said at the March meeting, I said, I can't give you a vote on the rules because that's not how this program works.
Yeah.
What I can do is schedule another special workshop, and we'll have a chance to come together and have a conversation as long as you want to talk about what these rules are going to look like, so we have something that the board can vote on. Okay,
Right.
because you can't have a vote unless you have something to vote on, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Okay, so March 23rd was set. I produced a set of rules. I call them a set of suggestions of what we would consider. Before March 23rd got here, I got another petition from the other side. Okay, and they had learned and watched what had happened. They were paying attention.
Sure.
They gave me a whole page of rule verbiage of things that they wanted. Okay, it showed up the night before the 23rd. So I had this workshop planned. I had my whole board there. I had the suggestions.
Yeah.
The side that gave me a petition.
I don't know how you weed through all this stuff so quickly. It's a tough job.
It's just part of who I am.
Yeah.
What can I say? Nothing special.
Sorry to interrupt you again.
No,
just-
it's quite all right. It's just a story I wish I could tell. You probably have to edit all this out, but anyway.
no, we don't edit the show.
I just want to say that because I take a lot of comments about how they do things.
Yeah.
I went to that workshop, and to me, a workshop is where people sit down and actually talk about what you're going to do. I don't need you to come and tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to do. Okay?
Yes.
So I broke the rules up into 5 discussion categories, and we sat there for 4 hours and we talked about each of the blocks of rules. Mm-hmm. And I added to that what the folks had delivered to me the night before, what I asked for, specific rule changes. Okay?
Yeah.
So I didn't get specific rule changes from one side. I got specific rule changes from the other side. We sat there that night and we talked through the entire thing. Okay, folks that believe that somehow I was underhanded because I didn't publish it in advance or anything else, it's just doesn't matter. So we came out of that meeting and we said, okay, now we can go forward with a 28-day rule, if we think. And I prepared based on what I saw, and I did talk individually with each one of my directors, because I'm allowed to do that. I can't talk to them collectively. With each one of my directors about what we thought the middle ground was.
Sure.
I'm going to finally get to the answer to your question.
No problem. You're good.
We had a conversation at the board meeting this week,
Yeah.
and we presented that as the middle ground. It was a very civilized conversation. Renee came up. She had written to me and asked me some questions. I made some suggestions. We got clarified one piece where we added the thing about putting flags on permitted flagpoles. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so we passed the 28-day rule that says, okay, here it is. This is what we agreed to do. 28 days from now, we're allowed to vote and approve this. Unless you folks convince us it needs to change, And if you can convince us it needs to change, we have to come up with a change, and then we have to wait another 20 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a foregone conclusion that it's solved? No. Something may come up. Does it look like we found some middle ground? Yeah.
Good.
Are both sides very happy? I would guess that one side is happier than the other. Is it a good first step to do something about this problem? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is. So my answer is, I think it's solved, but we'll know in 28 days for sure.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Next question.
I don't know where you are.
Oh, it's me.
I could read it to you.
My next questions are just very, very quick. So 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute is preferable.
Already is.
I know that was probably the keystone
toughest
question
one, yeah.
of the,
For sure.
the interview, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And here we go. North Ski Area, our favorite. North Ski Area is a common interest area. It's open to all dues-paying POA members, yet the Water Ski Club received a ruling from the board to only allow water skiers to use the front portion, even if that area wasn't being used by the ski club. Would you have voted in favor of this, yes or no? I imagine you had a vote on it. What's your take on it in 1 minute?
Okay, so the issue was mischaracterized, and it's funny because it's found its way into your question. The vote was not on.
It's not my question. It's the community's questions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I didn't mean to assign it
No,
to
I
you.
just wanted to clarify because
Yeah, these are not our questions.
The vote had to do with whether wake surfing, one particular kind of water sport,
Yeah.
wake surfing would be permitted along the course, which people had been doing.
Yes.
Okay? Wake surfing, as everybody knows, causes a huge wake.
Yeah.
And it causes damage to facilities. That's why they don't wake surf on the main lake.
Right.
yeah, there's no facilities back there.
Yeah.
But the facilities we have back there are the ski course and the docks and the towers that support the ski course.
Right.
So the question is, the question really was, do we want to allow damage to continue to occur to our ski course and to our docks that we have back there? Or do we want to limit that for just the wake surfing? And the answer came back, this is an amenity that we need to take care of, just like any of our other amenities. We're going to take care of them in a way that protect them. We don't like the damage. I went out and personally observed damage.
There's really not much to damage, though. There's 2 docks. There's buoys that can't really be damaged. And nobody sits in the slalom ski, the tower, as you guys call it, right? I mean, like, how much money are we really damaging? I don't want to get off course, but anyways.
all I want to say, because
I think people should be able to wake surf too, but I'm sorry to hijack your question. Keep going.
The reality about this is it came down to 2 things. One, is it right for a community to designate an area of the lake for a particular activity? And the answer is, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Where do we
We can say you can only drive 5 miles an hour in East Bay. We can say that.
Sure.
We can say that you have to stay 100 feet away from the shoreline when you're going by Treasure Island. We get to say that.
Sure.
We can say, we could put a course out there that's been there for 50 years. We can put a course out there, we could put docks out there, and we can say that those people get priority in using that. And we can also say it's our job to protect it. Now, if we want to have a conversation about whether we're protecting it or not by eliminating wake surfing, that's where the big controversy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, the solution is not to get rid of the ski course. The solution is not to make it so that we can't have our competitions out there. The solution that this board came to was we'll put the wake surfers in the back, and we'll let everybody else. This is what's important. Everybody else gets to ski in the front when the skiers aren't there. When the skiers are there, they get priority.
Yeah. As a kid and a semi-pro wakeboarder myself, when I was a kid, we never even did it on the front portion of the slalom course anyways. We'd wait for them to be done. We'd go to the back, especially with the water high. There's plenty of room back there. I don't think a lot of people frequent it because BLM shut down access to all that land back there and other things.
Don't start that topic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, don't
Never
even
mind.
go there.
I'm going back to the
No,
next
no.
question here. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I know.
POA's number one concern, or POA members' number one concern, is their home's value, and they want it to continue to increase. Do you believe increasing dues helps increase or decrease members' property values?
I do. I already mentioned that in my long answer to an earlier question about adding a Sierra pump track.
Yeah.
The other thing is, when we first came here, they were just starting to build the Audie Murphy complex. My son lived here from 2000 to 2007.
Yeah.
And so we came here. We saw Canyon Lake back in those days.
Yeah.
And what we noticed was that Canyon Lake was becoming very dated. When you looked at Canyon Hills, you looked at Audie Murphy. As those were building up, those were becoming, in my words, the classy neighborhoods. And Canyon Lake was looking. Canyon Lake was looking
sort
old.
of. I understand what you're saying.
Canyon Lake was
I'm with
looking
you on that.
old-fashioned. There were people who were arguing that as we came out of the Great Recession, property values were increasing faster outside of Canyon Lake than inside of Canyon Lake because Canyon Lake was dated. Now, whether that's
Yeah.
true or not, I don't know. But
No, the houses
I can
are.
understand
A lot
that.
of houses are.
If they're not
dated here.
renovated,
Yeah.
if they're not remodeled, yeah.
So the issue is if we step up and we do the renovations and we modernize our facilities, we build new gates, we
Yeah, I
clean
get that.
everything up,
Yeah.
we get this place so it sparkles. Do we regain our position as the
Yeah.
premier property
Yeah, I get
in
that.
this part of Riverside County?
I think our amenities are tip top. I think just a lot of the homes are.
Well, no, I get what he's
could
saying
use
with the
some-
gate. Make it sparkly, make it shiny, make it
The gates do
make
look
it
nice,
like
yeah.
bam. So we're back to that elite.
Well, I like what the
emerald
city's doing,
community.
even though I don't think it's a city charter to buy up commercial property in the city and then rent it out. But they're doing that to revitalize.
Yeah.
And that's totally necessary.
Rejuvenate it.
Well, look at the
Give
East
it a
Gate.
facelift.
I mean, look at the East Gate. It's totally run down. It's probably built in the 60s, maybe the 70s. Nobody's doing any upgrades to it. Nobody's making it nice.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I do support that.
I support that.
Signage.
Signage,
When
yeah.
you drive in the place and it looks
Some
good.
nice neon
Yeah.
light, sign it in the
It
nice
takes money
big ones. Yeah.
to do that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to become a resort-style community and really knock ourselves out with
We already
a
are.
gorgeous dining facility, outdoor dining facility, and event facility on our lawn next to our lodge? All this stuff takes money.
Yeah.
So
My
ahead.
turn.
Yeah, it's
All
your
right. Many POA members believe they should have a vote or say in decisions made by the board. I think you've kind of gone over this one. Do you agree? And if so, how will you implement a system that will allow members to be involved in decision making regarding rules and spending?
members do have a way to be involved in decision making. When I came on the board, it was at a time when boards had gotten extremely frustrated with our committees. The committees were large, they were argumentatively, they met without focus, and they came up with rules and caused controversy for the board.
Yeah.
The
I
rules
could totally see that.
The Rules Committee was one of the ones that was particularly contentious because all they did was every month they came by with new rules. That's why we have 150 pages of rules, to quote other
Gotcha.
people that have been around here.
Yeah.
So what did those boards do? They shut the committees down. They said, we're not listening anymore. I ran 2 years ago and said the best way to understand what this community wants to do is to put people on committees and have them discuss and make recommendations to the board and have a strong liaison between the committee and the board.
Right.
Before we didn't have a strong liaison.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So
right,
we-
right,
we-
right,
we
right,
We
right,
rewrote
right.
the
Yeah.
committee charter. I recharged the committees, and committees now are told what they're to consider, what their deadlines are, and the liaisons have to go in between. They have to report out at every one of our board meetings. That's the first and fundamental way that we get the community to help us figure out what the middle ground is. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, the state of California says you got to elect these guys on a regular basis. So if you don't like what they're doing, don't elect them.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
easy.
Right.
State of California also says you get 5% of your folks that don't like something, you can recall someone. With
Yeah.
5%, you can have a recall election. 5%, you can rescind a rule. You have a petition, you can rescind a rule. Those elections cost us a lot of money. They have
Yeah.
been exercised in the past, but
And they shouldn't.
Those,
And they shouldn't,
Well-
They really shouldn't.
the idea of doing surveys is interesting,
It sucks.
but it doesn't work. If you
Yeah.
know
Price,
that, it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying, price wise.
Well, and if you want to do a legitimate survey, you got to get a professional survey organization. You have to be very careful how you ask the questions and who you ask if you want a cross section of answers.
Yeah.
What's something like that cost?
Oh, it's
Do
going to be
something like that.
$20,000, $30,000.
$20,000.
Wow.
That's what I thought.
And the thing that it comes down
Raise
to
the dues.
get on the committees.
Raise
Come
the
on,
dues.
get together because
Yeah.
I like to call this a community of communities. We have committees that really can recognize that. Let the community that is affected get together and figure out what's going to happen. Recreation committee does that for all those recreation groups that we're talking about.
Yeah.
We got the golfers taken care of. We got this stuff is taken care of.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Number 2, do you believe you have the ability to represent the entire community with neutrality and not based on your personal opinions or pander to specific groups, clubs, or friends?
Yes, and I think I've demonstrated that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like that answer.
Nobody knows what I want personally for Canyon Lake.
Right?
And I'll tell you, my wife will tell you that she doesn't get to decide what happens around here either.
Right. Well, at least you're honest. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's true.
Hey, all right. Some members are calling for the Rules and Regulations Committee to be reinstated. I know you just brought them up. What is
Yeah,
your
I
view
think-
on this matter?
I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago
Yeah.
before this question came up, and I'm very strong on this. I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
The Rules Committee, because we have proven with facilities, recreation, and finance, because they were all recharted and redirected.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're all effective and they're productive. Okay,
Right.
we proved that we could do it. Now it's time to bring a Rules Committee back, and
Yeah.
if I can get past the finish line here,
Bring them back.
we're going to bring
Bring
them
'em
back.
back.
And it's
Yeah.
good. They're not going to look like the old Rules
And
Committee.
then would you also add in the liaison like you were just
Absolutely.
talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've-
Okay,
I really
I
like
really
that
like
idea.
that.
We've got to have a liaison. We've got to have a solid.
Otherwise, it's just noise.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, and this whole idea that came up, we had our the Canyon Lake Insider. Donna's got the questions she asked us all right.
Sure.
And so folks wrote about young people having a youth committee, a teen committee, having a representative on the honorary member
Yeah,
on the
I
board.
think that's a
What
great
What a
idea.
thought. The thing is it's got to behave like a committee. It's
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
gotta
we gotta bring cotillion back before we can do that. I think we need
Something.
to educate our youngsters a little bit.
We have some pretty
Put
good ones.
them in
here.
those types of roles. That's really
Yeah.
what makes them
Yeah.
Stanford graduates, right?
All right. Many POA ran amenities run at a financial loss, including the golf course and the Lighthouse restaurant. How do you plan to help them cash flow neutral or cash flow positive?
I have no intention. Do you try to run your house at a profit?
No.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I actually
it's
live on
here
the 40%
because you can rent
rule.
out this space. You can get money here. You can get this to happen. And but
No,
here's the thing.
I'm a fiscal dude. You know what I mean?
Here's-
to answer the question.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Here's the thing. We have all of our amenities, and it just really comes down to the restaurants and bars. That's
Yeah.
really what this is about.
I've never heard of a bar losing money.
Well,
You
believe
thought
it or
you'd be
not,
surprised.
believe it or not, this community has pushed back very, very hard on charging for alcohol at the price that we have to pay for it. They don't want to. They don't want to
The
do
Lighthouse
that.
was great prices.
That's why it's great prices.
Oh. I see.
If
Every
we
other
if we
bar, they're $2-3 more.
Yeah.
if we want to do that. So here's what this comes down
You're
to.
saying
is
that you guys lose customers as you raise your prices, so you
No,
keep
we
them to
we
where-
say that we have those that went before us purposely said the entire community can create these amenities.
So we can afford them.
We'll own them.
Yeah.
We'll maintain them, and we'll buy the stuff that we want to buy when we walk in there,
Yeah.
and we'll charge ourselves what we want to spend. Now, what happens is it gets out of control, and I think it's out of control. It gets out of control, and all of a sudden, the whole community who should be chipping in to help
Right.
keep the facility nice, keep the lights on, keep the grass mowed, all that stuff, okay,
Yeah.
is now paying for the cheap food and booze.
Yeah.
Okay? And if that's not bad enough, if we're not charging enough for people that come in from the outside that hold weddings and events, all
That's
of
a
us
big
are
deal.
That's on
all
us,
of us,
yeah. I
all
would-
of us
yeah.
here
Yeah.
are subsidizing that. Now,
Yes.
does that mean we have to make our lodge profitable? No, no. What does it mean? I say, and what we wrote into the budget model, That was something new this year. We wrote a budget model, and we gave it to the finance committee about how they were supposed to budget, okay?
Yeah.
And we said, when you set the fees so that they pay for the services that are provided, charge the membership to take care of the amenity.
Right.
Keep the lights on, keep the water there, clean the restrooms, all that stuff, as if it were sitting there.
Yeah.
Charge the members. Now, it turns out at the golf course, if you look at how much the golfers pay, and we got like 35 to 36,000 rounds of golf played a year, okay? They generate on the order of $900,000.
Wow.
So what does that pay for? Well, it pays for pretty much everything that makes this remarkable park a golf course.
Yeah.
The rest of it, water, lawn care, all that stuff, needs to be paid for by the community. Because what would happen to our property values if we got rid of the golf course?
Oh,
We're back to Sun Valley,
that
aren't
would
we? Okay.
ruin.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I agree with that.
So do they need to be profitable? No. Do we need to make sure that the fees are right? Yes. Do we need to make sure that we are consistent with our values and our vision? Yes.
Do you think? Well, I don't want to get off topic. Go ahead. Sorry.
If
Go ahead. I'd love to be off topic. It's
No,
your time.
afterwards we'll
Yeah,
talk
because
about
you
that.
can't-
Okay, just have all kinds of
if elected, what are your top 3 priorities you plan to tackle in your first 100 days?
Well, the first thing, if selected, and I expect to be reelected as president, let there be no mistake. I want to continue doing what I've done because what I've brought to the Canyon Lake. I want to fast start the orientation process and refine the board principles. We're going to get some new voices in there. That's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Let's get in there and let's deal with our core values, our purpose, and our vision and what our goals are. Let's get that nailed down first up. That's a fast start. That happens during the orientation period. This last year, I structured a completely different orientation than what they'd ever done around here before. And the idea was give us a few rules
For the candidates, you're saying?
No, this is when the board is
orientation
elected.
Oh, okay.
And next week they go into a week-long session trying to be taught how to run this organization, how to act like a board,
Yeah.
do what it has to
Yep.
do.
Okay.
So anyway, the first thing is to get those board principles refined. Then I want to monetize the CC&Rs.
Okay. Yeah.
The CC&Rs are not serving us perfectly well. There's things that need to be done, and we can dig into that, but I don't think you want to dig into that.
Can you expand just for like 30 seconds? Or
Yeah, I have a couple of what I think are really great examples. The first thing is when somebody buys a home here, an older home here, and there was a period of time when people it was kind of Wild West out here, and they built stuff they wanted to. And then there was a period of time when the ACC kind of let them build whatever they wanted to, and the board let them off with it. And now we're at a point where we're trying to enforce our CC&Rs. This whole idea about what goes on inside of people's backyards that is out of view, that doesn't comply, or things that don't comply that don't affect the basic aesthetics of the community, I'd like to get away from that. I'd like to leave those things alone.
Agree.
What do you mean?
Okay.
More regulations to curb that,
Or less?
less?
No, it's the regulations are there. It's the enforcement. Can't we grandfather in things that were built in a backyard that don't meet our current standards that nobody?
You
can
mean like
see?
a shed or something
Yeah,
like that?
like a shed or something.
I'm
Or like
with that.
Like a roof.
Yeah.
If you've got a metal shed on the side of your house that
Yeah.
somehow you got put there because you're not supposed to put metal sheds
No.
in this place.
No.
Okay. Then we ought to have a way to grandfather that. That's
Yeah.
what I would like to see. I can't promise the ACC's
Grandfather, so it's never bothered by
it's never bothered
by the POA or whatever.
So it's never bothered by the POA.
You're allowed to do
Yeah.
it, basically.
I want
as
so
opposed
the
to
basic
being
thing
a
is
rules.
I'd like to see some grandfathering rules because we're 50 years old.
Yeah.
It will save a lot of
Well, I know a lot of new homeowners too. They don't have the money to come in and change a lot of those
No.
things like
Well,
right
you know,
overnight.
when my wife and I moved here, we owned our lot. We bought a house down the street over here, and we were going to live for a couple of years while we built our new house.
Right.
Okay, we were done with escrow. We had moved in, and we got the letter from the ACC telling us all the stuff we had to do in the next 30 days. And it was like,
Yeah.
What?
I get a ton of complaints about that.
well, this is something that we can work on.
Yeah.
And they say, look, it's
So you're in favor of lightening that
Yes.
for new homeowners, am I correct? You're in favor of lightening that for new homeowners?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, cool.
The other thing is that we have a regulation that says that you cannot have an occupied space below elevation 1397 because of some
What's-
reason. The lake is at 1381. That's when it goes over the dam. Okay.
Okay.
13. Some people will
97.
argue that the FEMA floodplain, if we get a big, awful flood,
Yeah.
that it's going to flood the community.
We're due for
the,
one.
The 100-year flood level is 1384. So we say we can't build below 1397 when the floodplain's at 1384. And you say, well, why did they do that? Well, back in 1968, whoever built this place decided that people should live up at that level, that we
Yeah.
shouldn't have people
Right.
living down the downslopes,
Right.
okay? Let's get rid of that rule.
Yeah.
What do we need that for? What we have now is you can go around the lake, and there are people who have gone into their areas below 1397 and have had playrooms.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
right.
'Cause everything's built on a
Right.
hill here.
Nothing's permitted, you see?
Yeah.
And the idea is if they get caught,
that
or
creates
if it-
problems in the real estate transaction when they go to sell.
100%.
So CC&R changes. All we have to do is say, let's stop
I
doing
see.
that. We don't
Okay.
need 1397.
I like that.
We are perfectly happy with
I like
I like
1397.
that a lot. I like all. I like all that.
All right, then there's the thing about the height of our fences, 6-foot fences.
Thank you.
That's one of them.
Jeez.
There's another thing about the kind of people that, not the kind of people, the composition of our ACC. Right now, the CC&R say we have 3 people on the ACC, or maybe it's 5. 5 people on the ACC, all volunteers, no staff, and they make all the decisions. And I believe that it's important for the community to have a strong say, that the members of the community have a strong say on what their community is going to look like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to have professional planning staff that has a strong voice at the table.
Great.
So what I'd like to see is that we bring a couple of planning staff people and put them on the ACC,
Yeah.
not a majority,
Just
but so
one
that
or
they
two.
have
Sure.
an equal
A
voice.
voice, yeah.
They have an equal voice.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 examples out of 10. How's that?
I love it. I
Absolutely.
really,
Yeah.
truly, I
do.
honestly,
And it's
do.
gonna, it's a big deal. The nice thing about the CC&Rs is you got to really work hard to change them
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
They're ground in stone.
they are ground in stone. Because
Yeah.
fundamentally, whether we knew it or not, when we walk through the front gate, that's what we promised. That's what we
Yeah.
were promised. To change them, you got to have a 2/3 vote. Now, if you get a majority vote and you go petition to a judge and you convince the judge that the rest of the people
That's
don't
dirty.
care,
That's just nasty. That's
yeah,
tough to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
and it's
get-
expensive to do.
well, and we did it once. We got
Did you?
the rule about no motorcycles in Canyon
Oh
Lake.
gosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it went through. It got 51% of the votes, and they took it to the judge.
Wow.
Really?
And the judge,
I didn't know this.
The judge gave it permission, and so it went on the books. That's why there's no motorcycles around here.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, I will also, I'm on record. I will also say that as a CC&R change, I don't see what the problem is with our motorcycle riders riding their motorcycles to their garages once a week
Yeah, I don't
to
either.
fix their motorcycles
Agreed.
and
This
taking
is-
them back
this
out
is-
and park them.
This has been an
A
argument
battle
as long as I've been here since the
forever.
early 80s.
Since I was a little kid.
Yeah, dude, I remember being
All your dads complaining about
Anyways,
forever.
yeah.
Chris, you're amazing. Seriously, that's such a great interview and so much
Yeah.
great information.
I
that I never
actually
knew.
want to invite you back and just have a full interview.
Right?
Just talk with Chris Poland. Seriously.
Well, let's go there just a second.
Sure.
Let me just say it right now because we're there.
Yeah.
We have 5 or 6 ballot measures right now.
Yeah.
And I instigated all of them because, as you could tell, I have a real passion for Canyon Lake and how we can make Canyon Lake grow into something more extraordinary in the future and do all the
Right.
things that we want to do.
Yeah.
Each one of those ballot measures is aimed at that, and I would love to have an opportunity to have a conversation with you about those ballot measures.
We would love to hear it.
Anytime. Anytime.
Get your schedule out.
Got another show to do.
We also
to do
interview
it.
via Skype and phone too. Our podcast setup
Okay.
has a setup
Yeah,
for
we have
that.
the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
one more
the
question
third
there?
thing I'm sorry.
Oh, you're done with
Can I go
Done.
quick?
Yeah.
I only
Sure.
got to the second thing I wanted to do in 100 days.
Oh,
So the president wants shots in everybody's arms. Whatever.
Just real quick. We're almost at an hour.
Refine the budget model, including reconsideration of the fees. See, the budget process starts 6 months before the budget's passed.
Yeah.
And if we're going to change the way we budget and take a better look at how we spend our money, which everybody wants to do, okay, I'm good. We want to do that too. We want to streamline. We want to use automation. We've got new programs coming in, all this stuff that nobody really knows much about.
Yeah.
But the reality is we've got to talk about these fees. And we had a long conversation about that. So that shows up in the budget model.
Yeah.
And that has to be redone in the first 100 days.
Okay.
I like all three of those.
Awesome.
Great
Yeah,
interview.
I feel like I could talk to you for
Forever.
5 hours. Seriously. Yeah, very interesting guy. Very
Seriously,
astute.
all the candidates.
Very
Thank you guys
astute
so much.
gentleman.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's an absolute pleasure meeting you. We really appreciate you coming on
You're welcome.
the show, Mr. Chris Pullman.
Thank
Yep.
you, sir.
you
So
very
good to
much.
meet you. You
And,
guys
good
find
luck
us
in
every
the,
Friday.
Upcoming election. UEC, Heating
Yep.
and Air, they're our sponsors. They're doing the $59
They are.
tune
If-
up.
You
Give
get
them
a little
call.
hot out, so
Help support our sponsors. That keeps the show going here. Lets us do what we do here. But Canyon Lake, you guys enjoy
love you.
yourselves. Love each other. Hey, the sun's coming back out. People are on the boats.
Fiesta Days might be
Fiesta
coming
Days.
back.
We're doing Fiesta Days.
No matter
one way or
what,
the
we're
other.
doing
you,
it.
You know what's
You've heard
gonna
about
happen.
Park Hopper Fiesta Days.
Yes,
Yes,
we did.
yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
brought it
that
up
is such
earlier. I
that is
think it's
such
a great
cool
one.
idea. It is so important for us.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sorry.
We got to
It's
get out
it
of the
is so
damn
important
house.
for us to do things that don't put us at extraordinary risk.
Yep.
So we
Yes.
got to follow the regs.
I
Right?
like
Yeah.
it.
And this Park Hopper idea lets us do that. I think it's fabulous.
Perfect. Well,
I think not doing this puts us at risk. But Canyon Lake, we love you.
we love you guys.
Chris Poland, Tim Cook. Next week, join us Monday night at 6.
Yep.
We've got local influencers. We have Brad Morton.
Yep.
We're going to invite some other local club members, presidents, come on the show, give out their official endorsements. Really excited for this election. Really excited for Canyon Lake.
For sure. Good things to come.
Good things to come. We love you, Canyon Lake. Take her easy.
We'll
We
see
love
ya.
ya.